Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for today, February 11th. I'm going to begin with the year 1858 because today is also the feast day of Our Lady of Lourdes. And on this day in that year was the first vision of the Virgin Mary to 14-year-old Bernadette of Lourdes, France. 14 is another one of those years that's very particular as it relates to this journey in spirituality. You'll see if you read the books of Mary, if you read about Jesus and many other people throughout history, it doesn't have to be religious actually, at 3, 6, 12, 14, 17, 19, 33, sometimes 22 also. Tends to be a year where they experience something super significant. Like Joan of Arc, for example, right? She led the army at 17. She was put to death at 19. These very significant years. So that's another thing to pay attention to when we go over numerology of different dates. That's the whole purpose of me, going over these historical events, not only so that you can learn them and be aware of them, but that we're taking note of, the dates and times at which they occurred, because it means something numerically. And maybe together, we can continue to figure out why certain things happen on particular days, or ages in this case. 1929, Vatican City, the world's smallest country, is made an enclave of Rome. 1975, Margaret Thatcher defeats Edward Heath for leadership of the British Conservative Party. 1990, Nelson Mandela is released after 27 years of imprisonment in South Africa. 2011, Egyptian revolution culminates in the resignation of Hosni Mubarak and the transfer of power to the Supreme Military Council after 18 days of protests, which is known as the Arab Spring. And a couple of these are 11/11s, by the way. First of all, February 11th, not taking into account the year, is 11/11, of course. 1858 is 11/11. 2011 is also 11/11. Did you know traditional date for the foundation of Japan by Emperor Jimmu is on this day in the year 660 or 66? Famous birthdays: Thomas Edison, Manuel Noriega, and Jennifer Aniston. Would you believe Pope Benedict the 16th announces his resignation from February 28th. He's the first pope to resign since the year 1415. He was fucking horrible. He was disgusting. He was a literal Nazi. He had been a Nazi youth, and he still looked like he behaved like one. Anyway, it happened on this day in the year 2013. Famous wedding, 1638. Dutch Countess Louise of Salms marries Earl John of Bredenrode. 1810, French leader Napoleon I marries his second wife, Marie-Louise of Austria. And 1902, U.S. military leader George Marshall, master number 22. I just said it. Also, sometimes at the age of 22, things happen that are significant for us. He weds Elizabeth Carter Cole, in San Antonio, Texas. Famous deaths: Rene Descartes, Sylvia Plath, and Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was American and one of the most awarded and best-selling female music artists ever. Houston first came to prominence as a teen model and moved into music full-time after she signed a record contract in 1983. Her debut album, Whitney Houston, was released in 1985 and in 1986 was the #1 selling album on the Billboard chart. Her second album, Whitney, was also a major success with record 7 #1 hits. She moved into film roles with The Bodyguard in 1992. the film's soundtrack containing her so-called signature song, I Will Always Love You. Whitney continued to perform while her personal life became more chaotic amid alleged drug taking until she died in 2012 in an accidental drowning. Society forced her to her death too, killed her. They didn't coddle her the way that the drug addicts of today are coddled. If I see one more thing about old poor Demi Lovato who keeps going in and out of rehab, and no one makes fun of her. They just say that we need to support. Whitney was abused by the media and society. So I'm not surprised that she died. In any case, the actual cause was an accidental drowning in 2012. She's remembered for her huge vocal range and her use of the melisma technique. She was born on August 9th in 1963 in Newark, New Jersey, USA, and was a rabbit on the Chinese zodiac and a Leo. She died on February 11th in 2012 at the age of 48, again of accidental drowning. Sylvia Plath was an author and a poet, also American. She's credited with advancing the genre of confessional poetry and is best known for her two published collections, Other Poems in Ariel and The Colossus. I spoke a lot about Archangel Ariel, or Ariel, yesterday when all the oranges showed up in the weekly love reading. So this is funny. Plath won a posthumous Pulitzer Prize, that means after she died, for the collected poems, and is also well known for her semi-autobiographical work, The Bell Jar. She suffered from depression for much of her adult life, and in 1963 she committed suicide. She was born on October 27th in 1932 in Boston, Massachusetts, USA, and was a monkey on the Chinese zodiac and a Scorpio. She died on February 11th in 1963 at the age of only 30 of suicide. Also, something from the weekly love reading, all these threes that kept popping up, or 111s, they're threes or 12s, so they were also showing up. We just learned that Whitney died at 48, so that was another 12 or 3 or 111, and then Sylvia Plath at 30, which is another. René Descartes was French and a philosopher. He's considered to be the father of modern Western philosophy. He's best known for the philosophical statement, cogito ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am. He laid the foundation for the 17th century continental rationalism and also had a strong influence in mathematics. He was born on March 31st in 1596. Descartes, Indre et Loire, France. That's the place. And he was an Aries. He died on February 11th in 1650 at the age of 53 of pneumonia. Jennifer Aniston is an actress, American as well. She gained worldwide recognition for portraying Rachel Green on the television sitcom Friends from 1994 to 2004, a role which earned her an Emmy Award, a Golden Globe Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. She's also enjoyed a successful film career and has played the female protagonist in dozens of romantic comedy films. She was born on February 11th in 1969 in Los Angeles, California, USA, and is 49 years old, a monkey on the Chinese zodiac and an Aquarius. Manuel Noriega was a Panamanian general and dictator. He came to prominence in the Panama National Guard under Omar Torrijos. When Torrijos died in a plane crash, Noriega emerged as head of the National Guard, appointing himself general. During his period, Noriega began working with the U.S. CIA, providing them with intelligence. At the same time, he established himself as a major drug trafficker. From 1983, he effectively acted as dictator, controlling the country. In 1989, he voided elections after it was clear his candidates had lost. Americans retaliated by imposing sanctions and invaded the country in December of 1989. Noriega evaded capture for days before being sent back to the U.S. and convicted on drug charges. He was also convicted in France of money laundering before being sent back to Panama to serve time for crimes committed during his rule. He was born on February 11th in 1934 in Panama City, Panama, and he died already, a rooster on the Chinese zodiac and an Aquarius. He died on May 29th in the year 2017 at the age of 83. And lastly, Thomas Edison was an inventor, American as well, prolific inventor whose discoveries changed the modern way of life. His inventions included the phonograph, the electric light bulb, the electric power industry, and motion pictures. Her passion for direct current, DC, over Westinghouse's alternating current, AC, resulted in the shameful electrocution of both an elephant and a man. He was born on February 11th in 1847, which is 9/11 or 11. So he was born on 11/11/11 in Milan, Ohio, USA, and was an Aquarius. He died on October 18th in 1931 at the age of 84. Another one of those 12s or 3s or 111s of diabetes complications. And he was the last. Going to the dice, we are starting with romantic dinner, cocktail, and sex. I'm sorry, not sex. Well, maybe sex too, since I thought that's what I saw. But it's yes, actually. Spirit says no. Hopefully not to the sex. Buy shoes, as we saw in both readings. The weekly general and love. And romantic dinner. Going to the cards, we're beginning with the Queen of Winter, who's experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All of your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. The Queen of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Maybe it's showing up because of Mary. It also might be showing up because of Mercury, which I believe has a transit, a favorable one, with Pisces today, if I remember correctly. Speaking of Pisces, perhaps it's the 6th of summer. The loving care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. Six of Summer and the Four of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building walls that keep people out. Somebody could be holding on maybe to something involving a child, or maybe to an actual child, too tightly, like they're growing up and it's time to release the hold. Maybe going through some of those type of issues. Or this could be like having to do with a soulmate, again, holding on too tightly, or giving too much for yourself, or an issue from your past, or concern, or something. To the positive, maybe you're holding on to a dream from the past and you want to bring it back to life now. You know, you want to make it actually happen now. Six of Summer and the Three of Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. This applies to love too, right? The best relationships, or most loving, or abundant, are going to be those that you went after the person about whom you felt so strongly. Opposite the Six of Summer, it can definitely be that too. Or again, something from your past, a dream that was deferred that you're bringing to life now, and you earned, you deserve, the rewards of it. Six of Summer. Ugh. This could be the energy of someone or something trying to take it from you, however. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources, such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions, as well as what others might be doing behind your back. This can also be reason as to why the Queen was here, to cut people, places, and things like this out of your life. This card can also have to do with risk, right? Taking risk. So maybe to the more positive, again, you're going to bring some dream from your past to life. Take some risks, you know. Scared money don't make no money, as they say. Or it can also have to do with confidence, like a lack of confidence, a lack of esteem. So you, in effect, are blocking your own blessings. You're stealing your own joy in that case. Overall energy is Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies all at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognitions that you are receiving. Major Arcana card, the Chariot, represents the sign of Cancer. It's about you being in the driver's seat of your own life, master of your own destiny. It's also a card of victory and can be about travel and movement or moving as well. Crowning the masculine today, it is Major Arcana card, the Emperor. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. So this can be connected to that Seven of Swords, right? It's about confidence and esteem or lacking it. So this is telling you not to be afraid, not to be lacking it, but to instead to be sure about yourself because you have a bunch to offer, masculine. The Emperor represents the planet Mars, which enters Taurus this week on the 14th and is basically the ruler of all men, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, regardless of whatever your sign is. But it also more directly rules the signs of Scorpio and Aries. This can be an authority into which you're coming into contact. If it's not yourself, you know, it's not about your own leadership or confidence or organization. It can be about like a boss at work or something, a father, your father, you as a father, often representative for me of a married man or, you know, like that sort of distinguished gentleman, right? Married, widowed, divorced, something like that. Masculine surrounded by the King of Winter, who's intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional. This is a time that's very important for you to communicate clearly, to be objective and unemotional, and to act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find. The King of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He can be, you know, this boss or authority. Maybe he's a Gemini or a King of Swords in general, often someone like a judge, right? Like they say Geminis make the most impartial judges in general, whether they're on a bench somewhere or they're debating something or like monitoring a debate between, you know, two friends. They make the most impartial judges. So that can be what this is, or a lawyer or a doctor, therapist or something. They make very good listeners and effective talkers too. This also came up in both the general and the love reading, with the masculine having something that he wants and needs to communicate, and maybe not being very successful about that in the past, but, you know, getting this much better energy with which to do it now. In his subconscious, it is the Two of Summer. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages and romantic partnerships in distress can still be saved Don't give up. So this can be him again speaking up about his feelings that absolutely came up, I think, in the general and the love reading. His feelings for another person, or it doesn't have to be representative of romantic partnerships. It can be business partnerships. And again, this can be, him taking on a executive role, or maybe an owner, as an owner, maybe seeking some sort of advice or counsel, or him effectively communicating on his own behalf in a professional manner and handling his business. Crowning the feminine, the 3 of Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career or relationship comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy, not someone else. This also came up in the love reading. I told the feminine to be careful about prioritizing other people above herself and her own needs, and the need to nurture herself in particular. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. This can also have to be tied to some sort of party of 3, something involving a group, maybe at your job, maybe a love triangle, perhaps more specifically involving an earth sign. Surrounding the feminine, speaking of an earth sign, it is the Queen of Autumn. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. The Queen of Autumn is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And in the feminine subconscious, it is the 10 of Summer. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising balanced children. So this can be the feminine doing just that, or receiving that type of message, perhaps from the masculine or a masculine in her life, with him or with his 2 of Summer mirroring her 10, because both are about, love and caring. Also interesting, the King of Winter mirroring the Queen of Autumn. This again can be Mercury showing up. Mercury, ruler of both Gemini and Virgo. Or even Venus, ruler of both, or all 3, Gemini, Libra, and Taurus. Crowning, it is the 9 of Summer. Now's the time your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. So this is wishes coming true, being granted, dreams coming true. So as I was shuffling, I was talking about dreams that had been deferred to now, and you're finally, considering them. This could be them actually coming to fruition, or you coming up with ideas as to how they may come to fruition. And maybe you don't have it all figured out, and you don't have to have it all figured out. You're not meant to have it all figured out. The universe will do the rest. As long as you go with the flow and, confidently believe that you can have it. Believe you can make it come true. At the root, foundation. It is the 8 of Summer. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you're in control. So you could be moving away from just old energy, right, that was holding you back from pursuing your dreams, whether they are related to business, friendship, or romantic interests. And so now you're going after them. The masculine is demonstrating that here with the 2 of Summer, and again, the feminine with the 10 of Summer. At the heart of the matter, the Prince of Spring, passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing you can't handle if you follow your inner guidance. I do feel there could be an opportunity for travel, and maybe not long distance travel. Maybe that just means to visit somebody, or to have them visit you, or maybe to revisit a situation. Maybe it's a wordplay. to revisit, reconsider something, perhaps a relationship, or again, a job, a business that you might start. Remember that our overall energy is the Chariot, so it is about moving, maybe considering an opportunity to take an apartment or take a house or to sell your own, or to go into business or to take a job. And that's what you have to decide rather quickly, what you want to do. So don't think about it in terms of whether you're capable or not, or whether you feel you're capable or not. It's not whether you can do it. Is this what's in your heart to do? It's not what's the end game, like you've seen your future all the way through, and I don't see how I could have a future in the long term with him, although I really want one, or her. I don't see how I could have a future in that industry, as a teacher. Teachers don't make any money, although I want to be a teacher. Like, don't try to do that. Go with the part of what is that you want. Further advice to the masculine: Princess of Spring, energetic, outgoing, optimistic, and creative. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. The Princess of Spring is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Maybe an Aries with the Emperor crossing the Prince of Spring. Or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And maybe a Scorpio too. A lot of butterflies here. That's not what I felt coming though. That's just something else that came in. This is also can be the facilitator of the news, like of the opportunity. So it can be somebody that's happens to be a fire sign, maybe, that brings you this news of this opportunity. Or it can be Jupiter or Mars, right, themselves. That can be another reason why the actual opportunity itself is crossing the Emperor. It's Mars that's bringing you this opportunity. And again, the important thing is that it's something about what you feel passionate, masculine. So that's for which you're to go. Not something, or someone for which you feel lukewarm, but you think it makes more sense. And feminine. Wow. The Ace of Spring. You may be the opportunity or you're getting one of your own. A wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may have come as a surprise, right? All of a sudden energy changed and something awesome is happening for you, or coming up for you. You'll still want to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. So same thing I just told the masculine. Go after what is in your heart to do and nothing else. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the daily. Namaste.